Hillbilly. One, two, 1, 2. Let's go. Yeah, Hillbilly's got them lit. Let's do this. Almost an hour past 4:20 here. Yeah, we're at the shop. Bros up in the cut somewhere. Just did a little live earlier too, showing off some new merch, some new skateboard decks, new skateboard gear, new art supplies. Just restocking up on things. Stock things. Refreshments are stocked, nice and chilled too. It's a warm day out here in SoCal, Los Angeles. Yeah, that was with the T. I'm gonna cut this audio right about now. Gotta get used to the switches here. They seem to get a little sensitive once you start getting towards the end. If you're turning them down, there's Super Dave in the house. What's going on, Super Dave? It's been a minute. Where you been? Chasing tornadoes? Hopefully not. Hopefully you're well. Been hearing about the storms out there. Prayers out to all those areas affected. And whoa, bro's burning some sage right now. Blessing the house. And there's sparks flying all over the place. I wish we could have caught that. I'm sure the CCTV got that. Whoa, blessing up the spot, and there's sage, smoke, monsooning through the store here, and there's brother Sal, right on time. Lil Cam. Yeah, the camera's doing that zoom thing again, which is interesting. What's popping, y'all? Saturday, 8 minutes till somewhere. And talking 420, it sounds like we're going to have some sort of event popping off here. So mark your calendars if you're in the area. Sal, come on through if you ain't got anything lined up. I know it's what Easter also falls on that day. It's that one famous or infamous German man. His birthday. What else? What else is on 420? I forget. It's a few other things that pop off on that day, but yeah, people like to celebrate the ganja. What's the story behind that? Couple of guys behind that would meet up behind a bleacher at a school at 420 and spark it up. Sounds like our high school days, right? Sal? Ah, I don't know about Super Dave. Super Dave, were you lighting them up under the bleachers at 420? Let us know. Super Dave probably was. Hillbilly Herb, without a doubt, was one of those individuals. Who else? All right, we're gonna finally. We've been trying to check out the national park webcams. We've been having fun with the different cameras, webcams. Did it last night. Couldn't believe we did 2.5 hours. We could go longer than that. I had no idea. But it's 5 o'clock here, so I thought we'd hang out a little more. Maybe check out some of these cameras around. And Crater Lake is one of them that we've been trying to check out. Yeah, way back in the day. Back. Before the last reset. You could put your disclaimer up there, Super Dave. And there's Wody D, Diesel in New Jersey in the house. And I seen Diesel. All right. Gotta check. Look, my audio effects ain't kicking in here. What's up with that? Give me 1 second. Where would we? I see. Having some audio issues here. Let's see. Where would that? Yeah, I'm not hearing that. My effects ain't working here. Uh-oh. We got Smoking Scan up on the big screen over here. There's a big protest going on downtown right now, y'all. It's kind of cray-cray. What are they calling it? The hands-off protest. It's a bunch of interesting people out there. We'll tap in with Smoking Scan in a bit and see what's going on with him. And we'll try to troubleshoot this audio issue. See if we could get our effects going here. Let's see, maybe now. There we go. So maybe y'all were hearing it. I wasn't. Had to tap my headphones on for that line there. Yeah, we got it going. Zoom out, zoom in. We're gonna catch you, Crater Lake. Yeah, let's head on up north to Oregon. Salute to all my Oregonians out there. Bro and I could have a whole night about just talks about Oregon. I'm sure he misses it as well. We love it up there. But let's see what's popping up in Crater Lake. And Crater Lake, for some reason, I'm attracted to. Yeah, they say it's cursed. The natives say it's cursed. Maybe it's not cursed. I'm thinking maybe they said it was cursed to keep folks up out of there. But trippy things do happen up in Crater Lake. So I wouldn't doubt that something weird is going on there. And I definitely feel it when I'm in the area. And that's what it's looking like right now. So I guess it's every 5 to 6 minutes, the national park webcam uploads a live picture, I guess is what it is. So let's see if we could see the date on here. Yep. All right. Let's get me out of here. Boom. And there it is. Let's see. Last pick was 5:16, so about a couple minutes ago. And here's a beautiful view of Crater Lake, mysterious Crater Lake. And anyone knows some of the lures of Crater Lake. What's up to everyone on different platforms? If you're tapping in, don't be shy. Hop on over to YouTube if you want to hang out with the homies, the homegirls. Who else is stepping in here? I see a Paranormal Paul is live right now. They got a Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot on. So don't worry, we got you guys on here. And I'm sure they're going to have a great interview there. And let's see what Sal says. Crater Lake, the deepest lake in the U.S., is located within Crater Lake National Park in Oregon, which is closing in I think they said 2029, possibly for a couple years, maybe 3 years. So heads up, you're trying to head up that way. Yeah, check. And there is some closures, I think, when I was checking the webcam here. But things are starting to melt, I hear, in different places. So maybe there'll be some openings. And let's center this. Boom. And yeah, formed Yeah, it used to be, or it is, yeah, Mount Mazama. Sal pumping out the facts here up in the chat. Formed by the collapse of a volcano. Yeah, Mount Mazama, 7,700 years ago. And it's interesting, the story of Mount Mazama is like this almost like this love story kind of gone bad. And volcanic origin, Crater Lake sits within the caldera of the ancient volcano Mount Mazama, which collapsed after a massive eruption. Its location in southern Oregon within the Cascade mountain range. Yep. And it's something about that whole. So what is it? Is it these volcanoes that are attracting? You know, we hear a lot of course, Mount Shasta. You could bring all that up. It's a whole show there. But yeah, you follow it all the way up north, and I'm sure maybe even all the way south. Maybe it ends at a certain point. What is it? Lassen? Is Lassen the last point? Lassen National Park of the Cascades? I don't know. And does it go up to Canada? How far up into Canada does it go? What up, Chuck? Where you been hiding, Senor Gonzalez? And then Diesel tapping in here. What was Diesel saying? Crater could be from where a giant tree used to be, tipped over, rotted away, left a hole. Yeah, very possible. We know that one of the, what do they call it? Do they call it Bob? I forget. They named it the massive mycelium network under Oregon there. I believe it's the largest in the world. And we know that's it's like the internet's, I mean the forest's internet, right? We're all fun guys and gals here. And speaking of the fun guy, yeah, I'm having my mud coffee today. I'm drinking coffee now these days. Sipping on this mushroom coffee. It's like what, eight blender. What's up, Sal? You be sipping on this stuff? Sal probably makes his own blend. All right, we caught Crater Lake finally. And I don't know, I just like to check out places I'd like to be, I like to go, places I've been, would like to go back to, and this is one of them. So it's super fun to be able to check these cameras out. We got a few different ones lined up. We'll peep out here if you hang out. There's never any pressure to chat and chill here. What up, Kaz? I've been seeing Kaz around. Where did I see you earlier? I seen you on around Brent's chat. There's a couple other cameras on this Crater Lake. What's going on, bro? Boom. Let's see. Gonna go back to the previous page. So yeah, North Entrance Road and Rim Drive are closed for the season still. Up at Crater Lake, trail closures due to Middle Fork fire. The Bald Crater Loop, Burt Creek, and Boundary Springs Trail are closed until further notice due to potential hazardous conditions created by Middle Fork fire. The PCT, Pacific Crest Trail, through the park is now completely open for hikers. Yeah, that PCT, to do that PCT would be gnarly. Any of you That's the Annie Springs entrance station with Crater Lake. And yeah, I've driven up there where you get these walls of snow. Also in the Lake Tahoe area, I've experienced these like walls of snow. East Coasters are probably used to it. Like, yeah, this is normal. But for the dwarf here, and I've lived, in areas that get snow up north and stuff, but yeah, these particular areas get quite a bit. And this is also taken at 5:21, so about 4 minutes ago. And they got one more camera we'll check out here. This is the Steel Information Center. Jeez. Looks like a maze. Jared Loco Indio. What up? Carnalito. Good to see you. And there's Gustavo. Always with a empanada in hand. All right, cool. We did Crater Lake, y'all. Finally. We'll be doing that on the regular too. And other places. As we discover more of these webcams and stuff. Yeah, Cass says he's got some reishi, lion's mane, and chaga. Chaga. Diesel could tell you, Diesel in New Jersey here could tell you about the chaga monster. Yeah. What?
The chaga monster.
Yeah. Jared, what's going on, brother? Saturday. It's a Saturday. What else is popping out there? So look, we got this one. And actually, this is the 24/7 live webcam up behind the Hollywood sign. How about that view? Looks like you can see the reservoir there. We've hung out there before. I've done my thing right here with some friends, and I want to go check that out because I think there's obviously, I think, the dam there, but there might be some old world stuff. Now that I look at bridges and remember old bridges and certain structures from back in the day, now I'm questioning them. So there might be some stuff up there, and we need to look at. But yeah, there's a water source there. Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff. People used to be able to come up to the Hollywood sign and everything. And you know what? Being from Hollywood, I had never been to the sign. Can you believe that? Yeah. Used to have a view of it. Used to see it all the time from where we lived. Looked at it growing up, but never been up to it. But yeah, there's been some gnarly stuff that's happened up there. They once switched it to Hollyweed. Remember back in the 70s? I wasn't around. And then they put Jessica Rabbit once, which I believe that was purposely done. I don't think the Hollyweed, I don't know how they pulled that one off. Bunch of stoners. What else? He used to say Hollywood Land. Dagger Spells is back. Cheers to you. Thanks for hanging out, Dagger Spells. Hope you're enjoying the weekend. And this is live right now, so heads up. And yeah, you could still hike up to a certain part up here. Do you want to hear a grim one that I remember from the Hollywood Hills? There's a few years back where this guy dismembered some dude and brought him up there and scattered his remains, took the head off, and the dude lived back in Hollywood. It was weird. It was a interesting situation there. That happened what, quite a while ago. But there's been other body parts found up in those trails on the way up to the Hollywood sign in that area in particular. Not to mention all the other areas like Griffith Park and other spots within these hills. All right, Hollywood sign. Holly weird. Boom. I gotta make sure that I stopped that. All right, exited that. And while we're in SoCal, we might as well check out what else is popping out there. Yeah, we'll give you a little SoCal tour here. You know what's popping. And for that, we usually go to thanks to Fox, go to their webcams. And we'll start off. We usually start off in Catalina. But let's go ahead and bounce to Mount Wilson here. And you can see, yeah, quite a bit of funk sky farts going on. I haven't seen them actually spraying, but you can see that layer of funk down below looking all hazy and obviously these knot clouds, IMO. Yeah, we got to head back up to Mount Wilson here soon. We got to also go follow up on that thermal situation. And yeah, there's already talks of people planning for their Bigfooting year. Bless you. So fingers crossed over here that we're able to get out and hopefully do some exploring, some camping. Yeah, things have been pretty busy right here in the city, keeping me occupied. So yeah, it makes it a little difficult, but hey, with some planning, anything is possible, right? So gotta line our plans up and lock them down. Is Roger up in here? I didn't greet Roger yet. What's up, Roger? Yeah, we get cougars up in these mountains. Oh yeah, bear, you name it. Dagger Spells, are you subbed up to Diesel in New Jersey? We're sharing his website last night. Diesel, don't be shy, bro. Diesel has a discount going on his website if you're interested in real art. Yeah, his art can be a little morbid, but a lot of you like that. A lot of you are tapped into your dark side, right? You gotta be balanced, right? Tapped into both. And yeah, Diesel, paints hockey masks, makes posters. He's got stickers, and no pressure, Diesel, to send those banners on over. Yeah, I don't think we've pulled up. Have we pulled up his website? We got to do that one of these days. Maybe we'll do it a little later here. All right, Mount Wilson. Mr. Wilson. Hey, Mr. Wilson. What are we doing? We're getting out of Mount Wilson here. Let's go to Catalina right quick. We'll skip LAX. Oh, yeah. Body, mind, and soul, says Sal. It's funny. I don't know if anyone follows Dr. Wu, which is Eric's brother. He used to go by Gypsy Road. What was it? Paranormal Highway. I don't know what happened to him, but I seen his brother had him on, and his brother's a trippy cat. Used to work for the Smithsonian, and he was mentioning the other day on. He goes live quite a bit, and quite a wild man there, and but very knowledgeable and has some experience. And he was mentioning that he's seen the Ark of the Covenant, which I believe him. And he also got into the whole topic of bees, and it was a good one. It was one of his recent live streams. And yeah, Dr. Wu, I'd like to talk to that guy. Anyone know the doc? There's quite a few doctors we know here. Dr. Dwarf. Salute to Scully Pop. Seen your message, bro. You rock as well. Yeah, man. It'd be cool to be chilling in one of these boats, hot boxing, chilling in Catalina, right next to the casino there. You can make some fish tacos on board, or maybe, you know, if you're balling, then maybe you could go really balling and go have some made at a restaurant or something like that. But yeah, I could live that life, that sea life. I've known some people that have had actually grandpa's idea was to live on a boat, just sail around. Seen some people do it. I was watching some videos and they're out in Key West, and I was seeing how they rock out there. Seems like a cool place to visit, and not the touristy parts. They went to like where the locals hang out. I was like, yeah, rad vibe out there. Beautiful place. I'm interested in Florida. Diesel, you gonna retire in Florida? What's going on, bro? I'll pull up. Mwah. See you later, Catalina. Oh, look at that. Someone's coming in there. Yeah, I was born on the bayou. Bayou. Start rapping, Diesel. And there's Roger rapping with Diesel. Yeah, we're gonna have to get a custom, one of those custom masks made Diesel here at some point. We'll work that out. And yeah, because I'm a big fan of the hockey mask. Even when Jason wore it, you know, a lot of it goes back to Jason Voorhees. And yeah, it just has this creepiness to it, those masks. Was that a bird? All right. Got sirens going by there. Fire department. What's up, bro? And we got company. Boom. There's Mama Jackie. Hopefully, this is sharing on your end. Let's make sure. There we go. Let's do this. There we go. There she is. What could be that could be Pops. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna say that's Ma Dukes. Oh, buffering. Are we buffering? I'm eventually gonna have to get plugged in too. I think that the Wi-Fi gets a little sketch sometimes. You get those buffering moments, and if you're plugged in, then it probably eliminate all of that. That'd be in the future. What up, Jonocide? Yeah, that camera's a little invasive, huh? Too bad. But we do like to check them out, and I'm sure they got a maybe they're monitoring for research purposes. There's Philip Blair. What's going on, Philip? How's Washington looking right now, bud? Give us an update. Hola, chica. Ahí está la Thin Lizzy Borden. You got your chanclas on, Thin? You ever heard the word pantuflas? They're like chanclas, right? And we'll bring it up again. Did you know that you could, if you, at least on my phone, if I type up chanclas, the emoji pops up. I really like how those certain Spanish words will pop up the emoji, like empanada, arepa, obviously taco, burrito. Uh-oh. Are we getting the munchies here? Hillbilly Herb, are you lighting up in the chat again? What's going on here? Hillbilly Herb. I think he's having a moment in Hotbox in the chat here. Daryl, we got double barrel Daryl in the house. And Woo Reezy posting links with cookies and all that. We had a whole talk about this. When was it? Last night. Last night, I think we were talking about. I thought you would have been on top of the cookie situation, Woo Riders, DG, and posting links without cookies. And yeah, all right. I haven't seen any updates. I haven't seen the little eaglets since the whole situation with the loss of the little one. Maybe someone's been, and I've been checking out the cam, but just no news on how the other eaglets are doing. We've been checking out the cam, and it's been at night, so you can't see the little ones. Chips Ahoy. Yeah, Diesel. And Thin Lizzy Borden. Again, if you haven't subbed Diesel, sub him up. He'll sub you back. And he's got awesome artwork that's, I think, along your vibe as well. I know Thin Lizzy Borden taps into her bruja side. She mentions it, right? I'm not wrong. Whoa, bro, put we got a vampire sighting over here. Let's see. We'll show him here in a second. I got a Cabbage Patch next to me. I brought it back with me. I've been traveling with it. And the camera won't show. Anyway, we've seen it already. It's here. But it looks like this little vampire doll just popped up. A breakthrough. Awesome. Breaking through is good. Especially, you know, when you're tripping and you got to make that breakthrough. What's up, Dragonfly? We're just hanging with the Eagles here. It's a nice Cali day out. We just got back from Crater Lake via webcam. And trying to get that fly out of my face. A little fruit fly. Having a banana for breakfast probably attracted them. But yeah, things are warming up, so I'm sure little bugs and everything. Noticed some mosquitoes around, not inside the shop, but just certain areas like, uh-oh, here we go. Get those little Thai ones, I think they call them. The tiger ones. Thai tiger. Uppercut. What's Philip saying? Oh, he's greeting. Talking about cookies there. All right, Mama Jackie, we'll check on you later. You have a blessed day. And let the eagle soar. Boom. Exit that. What's this? Oh yeah, we'll exit that too. Just clicking out of some of these tabs I got open up here. All right, let's see what else. I had a few things lined up. We're knocking them down like bowling pins. And let me get myself over here right quick. There we go. Still learning how to navigate. Yesterday I started off the stream muted, but luckily it didn't happen again, so got that out of the way. Yeah, you know, KCal9 News did a recent look over the affected burn areas from, you know, the fires we had out here in SoCal. And yeah, I was interested in check. I still haven't gone to some of these areas. Been what, 3 months now, and still have not gone. And I've been saying I've been wanting to go because I'm curious. And yeah, some of these areas I frequented, like the haunted forest, Cobbett State. And I heard, I forget who it was that mentioned that they don't think that area got affected, which would be amazing because it's an interesting spot. It's a paranormal hotspot. Look at that rocky spot. And it's kind of hard to tell where it burned, but I would imagine it's all the brownish areas. You know, we did get a little bit of rain recently, so that, you know, it's starting to get a little green out here. Not that it gets very green, but yeah, you know, there's a change, especially when we get some water. Plants surely, and the trees surely appreciate it, I'm sure. And I think so, yeah, this is going over the Palisades area. And we could listen in too if you'd like, get a little feedback on what they're saying.
I should say, by a lawsuit, claims that DWP power lines were responsible for a second ignition point hours and hours later, something that DWP claims is not accurate, saying that the power line that is in question was turned off before the time of the lawsuit says that the second ignition point started. Regardless, though, Desmond, of the ignition, you can see the damage still palpable. 3 months later, there is still so much recovery and repair to be done.
And we're still going to head up that way.
Yeah,
at some point.
It doesn't get any easier to see all this. I mean, we've been looking at it for 3 months, and I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say it's still really stunning when we come and we look at all the damage. So here,
I need to do
this is
shopping.
the Palisades Highland here to the west as the flames began to fan out here to the west. And we're going to take it all the way to Malibu in a bit. But first, we want to head over to the east and show Pacific Palisades proper, which, Eaton, as we know, was just completely devastated. Some of these neighborhoods that look like they were involved in World War II or something. It's really just a surreal thing to see. And as I widen out as well, Mike and I were just talking about how another kind of surreal thing is, it's springtime. We've had all these lovely rains, and we have kind of these green blossoms coming up on the hillsides. But at the same time, it's almost like it's covering the destruction, the burn scar. It's this mixture of kind of beautiful rebirth, but also all of the burned out neighborhoods. And it's just such a, like I said, a really surreal thing to see. So now as we're coming here, this is going to be north of Sunset near the Village. And, we've had reporters on the ground. We've shown you clips and bits and pieces of everything. But I feel like we needed to kind of show everyone the full scope of everything that was destroyed over the course of that week in the Palisades and in the Altadena area. And now as we zoom in on these homes. So obviously the Pacific Palisades, a reputation for wealth, but we can't. I don't think it's fair to just say that everyone that was here was an extremely wealthy multimillionaire. There were a lot of homes here that were built in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. Maybe people that had good studio jobs,
generational
grips or cameraman or something. Yeah, absolutely. And they were able to buy, a little slice of heaven. Really, the American dream here in the Palisades. I mean, a lot of these homes had been remodeled. I mean, no doubt these people had a lot of equity. But look, as I just put up the map tracker again, almost every single home in this neighborhood. So this is north of Sunset.
Yeah, keep an eye
out,
north
of the Palisades Village area, and it's
welcome in,
breathtaking. I mean, it's almost like where do you begin to even start to rebuild all of this? So many lots. I mean, you're starting to see some of them have been cleared, but a lot still have not.
20 years.
I want to credit, it was a great quote that I saw from Vintage LA, a really great account on Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it these days. And she had said that all that's left on a lot of these properties are chimneys, and they're almost like tombstones. And the way that they just kind of are like a very eerie memorial.
Twitch.
So this was one of the neighborhoods that saw the first devastation. And I mean, Mike, I know you were putting in some extremely long hours those days.
Links,
I mean,
y'all. Share those
we were talking about
any of those platforms. Hit us up.
80 to 100 miles an hour. I can't imagine what that must have been like to cover this as it was beginning to unfold.
Yeah, Desmond, it was really intense. And, one of the things that obviously what we do with you is when there's a fire, we launch the chopper. And one of the most concerning things to me as an assignment editor and as a journalist when we covered this is that there were no aircraft in the sky immediately kind of following the start of the fire into the evening hours because those intense winds. And I don't know that I've ever worked a fire to this magnitude where there was zero air support.
Gnarly.
And you look at it from the ground. We obviously couldn't fly because of the winds. Neither could the fire departments. And you take away that such integral tool of fighting fires here in California, and you really see what is left. And we have talked to a fire chief after expert who says it doesn't matter how many fire crews you had here. It doesn't matter how many fire engines you had. No one was going to be able to get in front of this fire. Nobody was going to be able to stop the spread that it had because of the ferocious winds that were flaming these or fueling these flames rather through the Palisades area for days. It really wasn't even until the next day. And Desmond, I want to point out while we're doing this, one of our YouTube viewers pointed this out. There are still people in the Palisades that are restricted that can't get to this neighborhood. This neighborhood is still technically closed to the general public. So even every now and again, and you look at one right there, there's a home that is still standing. But what's left of the neighborhood? You've got one or two homes that are up, but the whole block is just decimated after all of this. And that also begs the question is, are those people back in their homes tonight? Is there still power yet in that area? What exactly is the thought process of those people? Do they want to come back to a neighborhood that is absolutely gone?
Yeah, and also the toxicity element. I mean, I remember in the weeks after. I mean, it just seemed like the winds would not stop. And after the fires were essentially extinguished, we had some gnarly winds, and you saw the toxic clouds that were being kicked up over the Palisades and over the Eaton Canyon area. And so I know that is still a really, really big concern. I mean, I love, if you know me, you know that I love getting out and exploring the city, the area with my dog.
I do too.
And walking these neighborhoods, and I have walked them, and almost as like a sense of closure for myself. I want to come to some of these neighborhoods and see it on the ground, but there is a really legitimate concern still of all of the toxicity as well. So we wanted to come over here to Will Rogers Park, and let's move the chopper, Dylan, just a little bit over to the kind of northeast, because this was one of the first historic tragedies, really, was Will Rogers State Park. I feel very fortunate to have come here. I never got to visit the ranch house, but here it was. This was Will Rogers' personal estate. He was a legendary figure during the golden age of Hollywood. He was actually the highest paid actor in Hollywood, believe it or not, during the golden age. He was also a widely syndicated columnist and humorist, and he was able to buy 186 acres of land. Whoa. This guy was the real deal cowboy. This was a polo field right down here. He had the ranch house, he had stables, and so much of it was destroyed. This beautiful, beautiful ranch home right here that was also a museum. The only good news is that some of the park staff, this is a California state park, and they were able to get some of the artifacts out of the home when they were evacuating. And fortunately, they were also able to evacuate all of the horses that were on the property. So it's, a small consolation, but the park continues to be closed. There's no
piece of
reopening, and that's really going to be a theme for a lot of the things that we show you that got destroyed. I mean, we sure hope that this could reopen sometime this summer. And it's, again, kind of this eerie mix of it is looking so beautiful right now in the springtime. But you also just have this, burnt out historic building. It was certainly a California historic landmark, I believe a national historic landmark. This is also the eastern end of the Backbone Trail, which is one of the most beautiful hiking trails in the country. So we won't have access to any of that for a very long time. But Mike, do you remember were there even, because this was, I think, when all the choppers were grounded, was there any live video of the ranch house burning in real time?
I don't believe that I saw it, Desmond. I think at that point, everybody, this is so far back up into the where the fire was anyway, that our crews were obviously concerned about safety as well. So we didn't get all the way back up in here at the time of the actual fire burning.
Talk about the Bunny Museum, and rest assured we will be showing the Bunny Museum. That's something that I didn't even know about existed, and it was just so heartbreaking to hear that it was destroyed. They do plan on rebuilding, so we will definitely be looking at the Bunny Museum. I have some of the Eaton fire locations in my map tracker. I'm not as familiar with them off the top of my head as we're flying by not too far away from where the Sunset Fire broke out now and really gave Hollywood a big scare. Isn't that right, Mike?
I was actually here covering the Palisades, the Eaton Fire, and then the Sunset Fire broke out. It was actually, Desmond, Oliver was in SkyCal that night filling in for you, and we were transitioning between the two fires, and I look at his shot.
And, I'm not sure why exactly that would be, but you are seeing, a lot of lots completely cleared here.
Yeah.
In less than 3 months' time. It's pretty remarkable. I mean, we still have, I'm from Ventura County. After the Thomas fire, there were still, lots there with rubble on them for many, many months after. So they are moving quickly here. And I wanted to mention the Altadena Not For Sale movement, because this is something that I read about, and I know a lot of the residents here are very, Altadena, very determined. Kind of reminds me of what's happening in Lahaina. Just, that really strong sense of community that they really want to keep intact. They want to try to fend off real estate developers and speculators as much as possible, trying to convince their neighbors, their community members not to sell. Let's rebuild. Let's, continue the spirit that has been here in Altadena for, coming up on 100 years. So you may see when you're driving in this area, I know that there's bumper stickers going around of the Altadena Not For Sale. So, if you see them, that, those are the real deal residents there. As we now zoom in here, I'm very sad that I never got to do a look at this segment on the Andrew McNally house. So it is McNally, if you've heard of Rand McNally, the map company, it was the co-founder of that company, and he built the home here in 1887. It was one of the most amazing homes that was here, and this guy was so wealthy that at one point, before this was all subdivided into, it was much larger back then, much larger spread. He had his own private railroad spur from the main line in Altadena so that he could store his own private rail car, which is like, how baller is that? I just feel like that is really an amazing thing. And he had an aviary and all kinds of stuff. And it was privately owned. It was sold for $3 million back in 2021. It was a popular filming a destination as well. The HBO series Hacks was the very last thing that was filmed here, but it was also very popular during the silent film era. And so this is a major, major loss. A home from 1887 that burned down. Very, very sad that I never got to see it fully intact, but you can find some really amazing pictures online. So now, though, I want to get to the Bunny Museum. I believe I have it up here. Just give me a second to find it. It's on Lake Avenue, 2605 Lake.
That's while you're looking for it. I got to say, the Bunny Museum is not something that I knew about prior to the fires. And you talk about community. That is one of the things that we had so many people writing in about during the fire and immediately following it. What happened to the Bunny Museum? Is the Bunny Museum okay? And, you know, one of our executive producers kind of lives in this area and knows the Bunny Museum. And I was like, what is the Bunny Museum?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I never knew about it either. And, gosh, I really hope that they're able to rebuild. So apparently they called it the hoppiest place on earth. I mean, how cute is that? It was founded in 1999 by husband and wife Candace Frazee and Steve Lubansky. And it wasn't originally here, but they moved it to this building in 2017. And the LA Times says that the museum held more than 40,000 rabbit-related items across 16 galleries and 7,000 square feet of space. And it actually had the Guinness World Record of the largest collection of rabbit-related items. So, I mean, we have so many quirky museums in the greater LA area, but this just might have been the quirkiest. They do say that they're going to rebuild, and they do have a GoFundMe account on there. So if that really pulls at your heartstrings, definitely search out the Bunny Museum Altadena and find that and contribute to that. Fortunately, I do know I had read that the live rabbits and bunnies that they had here were safely evacuated. So I was, kind of similar to the Will Rogers. I'm a big animal person, and so I was, at least breathed a sigh of relief to hear that. I mean, a small silver lining anyway, but hopefully maybe some of those rabbits will get to return to a brand new home someday. But the remnants of the Bunny Museum, one of so many places lost here in Altadena. Next, if you want to chime in here, Mike, take it away. I'm going to locate the Zane Gray Estate, 396 Mariposa Avenue.
Yeah, it does. Looking at your video here from SkyCal, it's really remarkable. Life goes on, right? It's a different life, but you're looking at the Bunny Museum. You see cars parked in the parking lot, and people still have to move forward after this, no matter how tough it is. Des, they asked if we're going to go to break one more time, and we'll be right back after this in Altadena. 3 months later, the LA fires from above.
Cool.
We'll be right back.
Let's get up out of here. Little update there on that. Let's see, where you at? Turn that down. Let's see. Give me a second. Let me stop this. Where was that? There you are. Boom. Got it. Navigating. Should check on Smoke and Scan. They're always having a good time over there. Oh man. Last night we also did Carlos Clemente's channel, which is pretty exciting. They seem to have had a lot of action going on last night. So this channel here, we'll share it out again. They got these like 5 or 6 live webcams in UFO hotspots in Mexico, and they're live streaming on YouTube. So if you go over to his channel, this is we were talking volcanoes earlier, the Cascades and all that, and the weird activity that goes around there. And this is one of the famous ones in Mexico, Popocatépetl. And he's got one of his cameras aimed right at it. So keep an eye out for any timestamps. And super awesome that he's doing that. And if you missed it, maybe someone in the chat, maybe I could do it. We're still watching Paranormal Paul here in Kentucky Bigfoot. What is it? Tennessee and Kentucky Bigfoot's on. So we'll go hang out there in a bit. And I'm going to see if I could tap into the chat here. I could through the laptop, but let's see. I guess I could post links like that there too, but I'll try to use the phone here. Might be a little easier. And I think it's just under his name, Carlos Clemente. So it's Carlos Clemente OVNIs UAP or Skywatchers Carlos Clemente. There we go. So here we go. I'm going to share the link here. With no cookies. And here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bam. So check them out if you're into sky watching and want to check out some live feed cameras. Like I said, 5, I think it's 4 or 5, maybe 6 he's got going right now at the same time. And they're probably running from last night even. So he's got them streaming. And yeah, go give him that support. He definitely deserves to get some support here for doing that. That's no easy thing. And Thin Lizzy says, I've been watching Bruja markets in Mexico and won everything. Yeah, I bet it's, yeah, you know, Mexican culture, it's a whole other level when it comes to the brujas and the spiritual side of things. Superstition as well. Let's see. Roger says, have I seen OI? No, what is that? I'm not sure what that is, Roger. It's possible, but I'm going to say no because I'm not exactly sure what that is. So, all right, 6 o'clock here. And the time out there, 14:04. And so shout out to Carlos Clemente and our good friend, Luces en el Cielo Anaheim is the YouTube channel. And he's probably watching. I don't know. I haven't heard from him. I'm going to have to send him a text and see what's going on. Alejandro, ojalá todo esté bien. Saludos, hermano. And we're checking out your other brother here, Carlos. And so, yeah, we'll be tapping into this channel here, showing these streams. Like I said, last night, I think it was might have been, no, it was a different camera than this one, different area. But there was these little things that looked like bugs, but they were just zipping and flying all over the place. It got pretty intense. And definitely question it. I don't think they were all bugs, so. And you'll get activity like that. Sometimes the cameras are rolling and there's nothing happening. Or it seems like nothing's happening. And then you'll get moments like that where it's just like, whoa, what's going on here? It's like some sort of plague invasion of some sort of weird bugs that we've never seen and heard of before, which I'm sure there is out there. You know, we're always making discoveries, right? I mean, I'm not, but scientists and the people with credentials. Roger says he goofed, hit the message button when I noticed spell check. Yeah, that's been happening a whole lot. You know, I talked about that just the other day, that spell check has been, bye-bye, take care. It's been, yeah, messing with my messages a whole lot. There was one particular time, and this was on like YouTube, you know, in the chats. And I had written or I didn't even write anything. I was going to write something, and then a bunch of stuff just spelled out on its own. It was the creepiest thing. And I was like, holy shoot. Holy. It happened to me because I've heard about it happening to other people. And I was like, yep, it happened that time. It seemed like someone was typing for me. AI or some other entity. Human, or what is it? NHI. NHI. What happened, Thin Lizzy? Let's see. I just had a weird thing with my YouTube just a few minutes. Oh, see, it's happening. Some strangeness going on there. Yep, I know too, Roger. So yeah, hopefully, I think I figured out, if anyone's interested on how to stream on TikTok. Buffering. I see we're buffering. Yeah, let me know. I could help you out. And I think it's working. It doesn't seem like it's having trouble, but I haven't confirmed whether or not I'm on live over there, but it seems like it. So, and if it is, super cool. Welcome, TikTokers. We be doing these random live streams. At the moment, we're at the shop. We got crash units pulling up the block here.
Crash units pulling up the block.
And crash units out here are the special gang units. You know, they usually drive around with no lights. It's just a black and white police car aimed at gangs. I forget what it means, the acronym. Is that what it is? What it means. But yeah, they used to be hot in the 90s. In the 90s, they used to drive the old Crown Victorias. Yeah, those dudes were rough. They're you know, they got to be rougher than the regular cops, I guess. You remember that, Christine, right? What up, William? What's going on, man? William tapping back in. He was hanging out last night, I think, right? You were in the chat. Yeah, I gotta, you know, be able to cue up these sound effects more, especially when, you know, when it's hot on the moment. Got to be able to drop them. Sometimes I lag a little bit, like when I was trying to censor myself. But yeah, there's some interesting ones we got loaded up. I got some loaded up on the actual pads here of the audio interface, and then there's some that I could also have on virtual pads, and they're all lit up just like the physical pads here on the audio interface and on the mixer over here. Speaking of mixer, let's see, before we switch gears, let's see. See you later, Popocatepec. Popocatepec, Popocatepec, Popocatepec. Can you say that really fast? Popocatepec. Yeah. I'm on it today and getting tongue twisted. Or like what's the other one that we used to practice as kids? It's an actual place in Mexico called Parangarigu Tirimícuaro. Yes, Parangarico Tirimicuaro. Looks like we got more customers running across the street here. Always keeping an eye out. Can't help it. Got a big old window out here. Let's see, where are we? We're at the shop. But I was going to look at the global map here and pull us up, but let's see here. Play the Jeopardy music. Oh, we wait here. Ha ha ha. Come on, Navigator. All right. What else? Let's tap in with Smoke and Scan right quick. Yeah, we got more guests up in here, so it might get a little loud in here, folks. Heads up.
A moron. Who's the idiot who made the Donald Trump song? Dumb fuck rapper that you never heard from again is that. Probably a one getting a PPP
and I'll
loan
leave the
and
chat
all that.
because the chat might be funny too if you could read it. What's up, brother? Right on. Yeah, welcome, man.
It's actually disturbing. There's nothing you can do other than watch it and realize what's going on.
All right.
Be bigger than it.
Yeah.
You got to understand. Read the room. Read the room. Take yourself out of the moment and read the room. And understand what's happening. And as much as I'm sitting here smoking fucking bag after bag and saying funny, crazy things, whatever,
yeah, of course.
I understand what's going on. Trust me, I do.
Yeah, we'd accept it. And you know, we've been blessed like that, bro. People will come through and be like, hey,
again, shout out to IRT Media. Joe, I'm going to link his page again.
Want to put in the shop.
You guys can click like and subscribe on his page.
Yeah, Johnny Depp.
There's the overhead shot, guys.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I have no idea.
There's the link to his page again in the chat room.
You're saying,
subscribe on there.
Through and we're like, hey,
tell him I sent
see this up in the shop.
Joe
so
for the fantastic job he does every.
Bob Marley also. I don't know, bro. They just came through and they're like, here, let's shop with us. And then
come on, call me puppet. Tell me how much you hate the orange guy. Come on, call me puppet. You anti-American bitch, get up there and tell me. Give me the shim.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Right on.
Jeff, thank you so much, Jeff.
Yeah.
The enemy within. The cultivating of domestic terrorism.
Yeah.
This is what this is. They are cultivating domestic terrorists.
Right on, Trip Out. Yeah, a lot of people always pull up and always like, hey, we live right in the area,
car,
never came in,
property,
didn't know really what it was.
In the name of equity and inclusion
and
democracy.
And then it's the, I was going to say, there was something else I was going to, you mentioned that. Yeah, and the thing is, I'm live streaming right now, so I'm glad you're talking. No, it's pointing my way, but I'm Show up anyway. All right. Yeah, watch. So these guys just ran a 5K of.
Spartan runners, big up to all you Spartan runners. Big Joskis and Carlitos, we just ran. We did good time to stay healthy. Health is wealth, you know what I mean?
Really no way to stop it other than continue to vote the way you're voting, allow them to make the change. And then slowly these people either get in, put in prison for the dumb shit they do. They move, they die off.
And then you start seeing things clean,
And And slowly, after generations and generations later,
you got a You got an Instagram or anything like that, or
your kids are cooked.
TNT Dynamite team. You know what I mean? The next to serve. You know, CEB. Cool 1, 501er, you know what I mean?
Am I gonna be around tonight? No.
Riding crews. Yeah, I know. I recognize.
I recognize
those.
Whatever
crews.
happens here after this, we're done.
You know what I mean? It's just like,
what I mean.
All I do is work, and I just want to. I love artwork. Keep it up.
Yeah, it's Trump, Bubba.
I
can't see his face.
Of it, and it's awesome.
And it's the hair. I love the hair. The hair gets me, dude, every time.
You guys keep up that good artwork, and big ups to this little shop right here. It's a beautiful area. And,
anything you can do, I can do. Bleeding. Is that what that says?
Bro. Yeah, bless up. Yeah. No.
Hey, yeah. Anything you can do, I can do. Bleeding.
Yeah, so we're here anytime, brother, and that's my
one of those
right
idiot
there. That's my brother.
Fucking emo fucking cutters and shit.
Yeah. All right, that was super cool. We had
Damage. Thank you for
customers and guests here. And yeah, there's quite a bit going on over at the Asylum. There's some shirts being made.
I can put it up.
Like some friends are here.
I don't think it will.
And yeah, this guy just wanted to share some of what he had on mind.
People barely have the energy to do what they just did, which was walk 8 blocks.
A 5K
in the sun
and he's getting shout outs there. And yeah, he says he's got some a frame with like Biggie Smalls and I don't know who else that he wants to donate to the shop.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm talking about, folks. Is this,
oh my God, look at it.
It's
great. It's a great piece. Oh my God, now let's get all the people taking the picture of the idiot.
We'll have something and we'll want to share. And yeah, and they come through.
Everybody's a goddamn photographer, like everybody's a fucking DJ. Hey. Jesus Christ. Being a DJ and a fucking photographer is a third job.
Yeah.
For everybody now, apparently. I remember you go places and there would be just one or two maybe. Now there's more than the protesters.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, there it is. Lit and Bit, thank you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Racho Kukumunda.
Yeah, I think it's beautiful, bro. Yeah. You gotta roll with that vibe, bro, you know? Yeah, bro. Yeah. Right on, man.
You see a pin cat? Where?
Bless up.
Oh, I do see her right there in the front. That's a pussy hat.
On, brother. Yeah, brother, bless up. He's digging the spot. Yeah, that's how we do it.
Leo from Rio?
Yeah.
Bro, is that fucking Danny Mullen and his buddy Leo?
The vibe gets wild up in here, a lot of energy. And sometimes it gets calm. And yeah, so these guys sharing some vibes
guys, this
there.
Is just a show.
What was I going to say?
This is all
I was saying
fucking
something.
play. These are all LARPers.
But yeah, we got Smoking Scan. This is what's going on downtown, y'all.
Hey, look, she still has the stick on her head.
Protest here.
For 20 years. 20 years of silence. 20 years.
Shout out Smoking Scan.
Lens out of the way.
Arts were censored and dreams were buried.
I was gonna say, so that's what happens a lot. A lot of people
what's on his face?
Have something at their house, like the Cabbage Patch, all the different things. People have been like, "Yo, I got this sitting in my garage, and I'm not doing anything with it. I think it would be perfect for the shop.
Scripted.
Bring it through." And he's like, "Yeah, bring it on through." And this is how a lot of the paintings. Different things, and a lot of it has been through donation like that. So big up to everyone who's giving us a little something. And of course, we've given back for those that need. Sometimes people need it. They've asked us, "You got an extra shirt or something?" I've been asked for like blankets and stuff too. It's like, bro, I don't got a blanket, but we got maybe an extra shirt or something. Yeah, we'll do it, whenever we can, and that's how we roll here. So let's see it. These guys are at City Hall.
Jair Bolsonaro, a man who openly glorified the dictatorship.
Está falando Bolsonaro. I think this guy's Brazilian. Yeah, he's wearing a Brazilian jersey.
An environmental massacre.
And actually, both times I went to Brazil, Bolsonaro was in charge there. Interesting to hear what the people had to say.
And now, his gangster son runs to the U.S. like a weasel, crying for exile. While
that guy's looking bright. Look, that other guy next to him smoking a doobie.
He's smoking a joint. He is. Old man hit the joint. Look at him hit that joint, bro.
Smoke.
Get it, dog.
Here in the United States, we see the same poison in a different bottle. Donald fucking Trump, a reactionary.
All right, enough of that. So that's what's popping over at Smoke and Scan. Y'all tap in if you like to hang out and have a good time. Getting to 6:30 here. We're gonna be wrapping things up at 7. Bro might be hanging out might be doing a little overtime. Usually does on the weekend. What else? Hey, peace, brother. Yeah, getting quite a bit of traffic here at the almost at the 6:30 mark. Yeah. Busy Saturday here at the shop. Always a blessing to have business and keeping it grinding, keeping it moving, chipping at it. One step at a time, one chip at a time. Got a little we'll do the little countdown again. We shared this last night. It's a little cap cut, little remix countdown. Had fun with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Bass in your face. Bass in your face.
Muted live. All right. We're going to head on out here. I was just kind of heading out, saying peace out to everyone. And I appreciate the text, whoever texted me. Big ups. Yeah, it doesn't fail. We always make it happen. We got something with the mute button here. What are you going to do? That's why I need a co-host. I was talking about having someone jump on here. Whoever wants to jump on and have a talk. What's up, Juliana? Stepping in here. Good to see you. Thank you for hanging out last night. Woo, we've been trying to tell them. I do it all the time. Get used to it. And I think it's maybe a spirit purposely muting for whatever reason. Just got to roll with it. It happens. But yeah, we had fun. Hung out for a little bit there. Peace to everyone on the different platforms. And yeah, we'll keep practicing with this, getting better at it. And I'm loving this mute button. All right, let's head on out. Y'all take care. Peace out.